Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I want to talk about CitizenCon and expectations for that event. We've got loads of information now and rumours, and we've seen updates to the roadmap and monthly reports and stuff like that that hint at what might be there. So CitizenCon is a two-day event on the 19th and 20th of October this year in Manchester. Throughout CitizenCon, there will be a series of presentations, teasers, videos, and announcements. And though there is a physical event in Manchester, most people will be watching it on Twitch, either live or on one of the series of VODs that will come out soon afterwards, videos on demand. Also, I am collecting questions for CitizenCon now. So I'm going to be attending from the 18th to the 20th. And if you have any questions that you would like me to ask devs that I may come in contact with, then start chucking them in the comments down below. I will also have a sort of feedback and question gathering area on my Discord, so go check out my discord.gg/BoredGamer. Anyway, we are expecting CitizenCon this year to be very Squadron 42 heavy. So the single player campaign is in its polishing phase at the moment. There are rumours of Squadron 42 celebrities being in attendance at the event. So people potentially like John Rhys-Davies, Mark Hamill, Henry Cavill, Gillian Anderson, Andy Serkis, people like that. That is not a confirmation that any of those in particular are going, but I would expect to see some of them. Also, what's expected is a release date and trailer for Squadron 42. So they should be announcing, or very likely to announce, a hard release date for Squadron. That is one of my biggest expectations for the whole event. And we're going to see almost certainly some cool clips and trailers of Squadron 42, them actually put it back in the shop again because it's been off the shop for a while. I don't know how much it's going to cost actually. It'd be anywhere between like $40 and $60 would be my expectation. How much are games nowadays? You can also expect them to be showing off some of the Squadron 42 features that will be making their way into Star Citizen's MMO, the Persistent Universe, at some point in the near future as well. They'll be like, look, we've polished a load of this stuff. Look at the way this works. Oh, we've got these cool features coming in as well that we haven't fully integrated. So moving away a bit from the Squadron 42 stuff, there's going to be a load of other presentations and things that they show. I think that a large portion or a big focus of CitizenCon is going to be the march towards a commercial 1.0 minimum viable product release. So I use the term minimum viable product because that's what a 1.0 release should be, whatever, right? You literally go, what is the product that we need to get out the door for 1.0. And yeah, they're going to be talking about like 4.0 and the roadmap beyond that. But the next major milestone after 4.0 is going to be, well, getting Squadron 42 out the door and then 1.0 out the door. That's sort of the road to that. But there's going to be 4.1 patches and things like that beyond 4.0 as well. But yeah, they're going to go, this is a road to 1.0. That's what we're working on. And then we're going to build on that. That is my expectation, a switch to focus on 1.0 and how will they get there. Obviously, there's going to be loads of updates in between them, and we're talking like potentially a couple of years plus for 1.0. I do think they can get it in 2026. I know some people will think that I'm crazy, but it depends on exactly how minimum viable product that is, because they can get Star Citizen into a playable state that's then fully persistent and released, and then build a load on that and get a load of star systems in later and things like that, right? But I'm interested to know your opinions on that down below, and if you think that that is going to be the major focus or one of the major focuses of CitizenCon this year. They are going to be talking about homesteads. We know that. So they showed these off a little bit on Twitter and went, oh, look, there's player storage areas that we're going to be talking about. And it looks like it's the first step of base building in game. Obviously, we've got the sort of customization of hangars in 3.24, and this sort of expands this out to allow you to build some form of building on a planet, it looks like, and put stuff in that building, have your own little base. We don't know the extent of what's going on there, but we do know that they're going to be talking about it and showing it off at CitizenCon. Don't know when it's actually going to be in game though. That said, it has appeared on the progress tracker now, base building, so they are actively working on its functionality. Something else they're actively working on that we might see some more bits of at CitizenCon are crafting. So crafting in Star Citizen will range from very small scales crafting, where you can make like multi-tools or whatever, and then tweaking and jury rigging and stuff stuff like components or whatever. I suppose that's more engineering and crafting. But then you can get fabricators that will allow you to make everything from components all the way up to ships eventually based on the size of the fabricator. You'll need blueprints and you'll need the materials and things like that. And it's connected to base building in a lot of ways as well. But you'll be able to have facilities on ships to build stuff as well, like we have on the Vulture and the Reclaimer and some of the other planned ships. Pioneer. Talking about that, hopefully they'll talk a bit more about how the Pioneer's changed, because it's supposed to be more of a mobile factory ship that obviously specializes in building the large sort of sections of outposts and bases. But I just want to see how all that gameplay has evolved. Now, obviously, if 4.0 isn't out, and it's likely that 4.0 won't be out at the time of CitizenCon, that there will be a reasonable amount of 4.0 features or the patch being shown off, or even potentially a 4.0 test build playable at CitizenCon, things like that. So expect 4.0 stuff, but I want to talk about other stuff beyond that, different to that. Something else we are likely to see are the evolution of quantum travel updates. We know that we've got some new updates coming where when you quantum travel, you will have to sort of stay within the quantum corridor while you're accelerating. Very much a hands-on experience, and I'm expecting them to show that off and go, look, it looks really pretty, and there's lots of other cool stuff that can happen while you're quantum traveling now, lots of potential missions and stuff, and distress signals, things like that. And I suppose that ties into something I'm expecting and hoping, which is them talk about the sort of economy simulation and quantum simulation again, sort of like the dynamic universe sim that they kind of, they say they have it sort of running in the background in like some of the dev builds. They've sort of canned it and that sort of stuff, but they haven't really talked much about it and haven't said when it's going to be in our hands, and it's connected to so much and it's so important for an MMO. You can expect to see new ships. There's probably going to be a whole presentation on them talking about some new ships and some cool stuff like that. Probably going to have some teasers like they did last year. Maybe they'll show 10 or so ships that they're working on that are going to be released within the year. That seemed to be a very popular presentation last year, talking ship. So yeah, really liked that. We'll probably see more on the Polaris, more on the variants of the Hornet Mark IIs. We might see some capital ship stuff with like a Bengal or Squadron 42 ships, because they're probably in a position now where they can show off the Scythe and potentially updates to the Blade and the Glaive, stuff like that for the Vandal ships. I'm expecting to see a presentation on animals and NPCs. So them going, oh, look at some more of the NPC updates we've got planned, and like potentially bosses and big armored sort of bosses and things like that. They go, oh, look, we've got some NPCs and vehicles, stuff like that. So them showing off that stuff, but I do expect to see more on star whales, the big space whales of Crusader, the terrifying pyro crabs, the boreal stalker, the Microtech Yeti, Zyphopods or Oni crabs, whatever they're called, they're sort of floating space rats. So yeah, lots of cool stuff like that I would expect, because they are able to get the stuff in game now, and yeah, they've been working on animals, we know. So something else, I do expect them to start showing off the Nyx system. So we know that they've been working on Nyx as well. It's going to be the system they get out after Pyro almost certainly, and that's connected going towards the Odin system, which is the system that's in Squadron 42, which I would expect to be available in the not too distant future in the Persistent universe as well. So talking about new star systems and all that sort of stuff, we know that Cloud Imperium have been working on Planet Tech version 5. Originally, version 4 was supposed to be the sort of last one, and they were going to just optimize it and make it better, but they've made so many optimizations and so many updates and stuff, they have coined Planet Tech V5, and obviously that builds in a load of these engine updates and stuff that we've seen, and then more. So Planet Tech V5, very likely they'll go look at the cool new biomes and look at all the cool new stuff that we've got with that. Everything looks very, very pretty. Look at the sort of terrain generation, and they might even go, well, there's a engine update video. We saw a cool engine update last year. It's probably one of the main features of CitizenCon last year, one of the sort of things that got people very hyped. I would expect to see something similar. I mean, like trailers-wise, yes, something Squadron 42-y, something planety techy, and potentially, yeah, an engine update. My other hopes for CitizenCon are, well, in the recent 3.24 trailer, we saw In Space No One Can Hear You Sing, which is a reference to Alien, but we saw like a paraloadery suit, which potentially is a Titan suit. Might not be, might just be like a prop they made to nod to Alien. That's just a background sort of power loadery thing. But I would love to see Titan suits at CitizenCon this year. That'd be amazing. Or power loaders, or whatever. Give me something like that. I'm very pro Little Mech, Iron Man, whatever. Data as cargo. That is something that I want them to put in game for ages. I think it's relatively low-hanging fruit, but it does depend on the UI teams having the time to be able to get that done, because it's going to be relatively intensive for them. But that would literally be using the Herald, using the Mercury Star Runner, and some other ships to transport data as cargo. They have to upload it, take it, steal it, whatever. Exploration sort of evolving would be something else I would really want to see. We know that they've got scanning updates, radar updates, and if they add the ability to put custom waypoints on your map and then actually sell those, or somehow allow other players to see them, that will be absolutely awesome. And then they just need more encounters and more places to go and see, and then you can start, exploring more readily. And if those sort of exploration locations are relatively persistent, then you can go, I found a cool asteroid field with some very valuable materials in it, or a cool little asteroid pirate base and with some cool loot in it, and you can sell the locations of those. Base building as well. Is there going to be a level of surveying the land? There will eventually, but probably not in the sort of initial base building, so maybe surveying, they'll talk about that a bit. I would really love them to talk or show off anything to do with AI blades, so sort of the partially autonomous stuff of ships, kind of the first step of having NPCs as crew, but they'll sort of plug into your computer systems or turrets, whatever, and allow you to go automatically fire countermeasures under these circumstances, or shoot targets that are enemies within this distance. Something that we desperately need in-game, and I'm hoping that they show off, are org features. Just some simple stuff to help plan and organize your groups and parties and orgs, like at a glance, seeing who's in your party or who's in your org. So, I know that these guys are in this org and these guys are in this org, and we're at war with each other. Shared hangars, things like that would be absolutely fantastic for Star Citizen. Something else I think is potentially going to be shown is bounty hunting 2.0, I'll deem it. So literally the ability to take down targets and then take them back to those bounty offices, which are part of like the security military docks. We've seen shackles, we've seen sort of ways of taking people down, stunning them and all that sort of stuff. So if you do it with players, there'll need to be a level of capture. So you go, I've knocked you out, you can choose to respawn if you want, and you'll respawn effectively in prison immediately, or you can just wait and see what happens, because you might get rescued. Is there going to be more stuff on like Death of a Spaceman, new missions, other new features? Potentially, yeah. I mean, they're obviously really pushing some of the more immersive ideas in Star Citizen at the moment. Some people will see them as more fiddly, with like the manual loading of cargo now. But yeah, that's what I think. Planet Tech version 5, potentially an engine update, Squadron 42 sort of focus, release date, and them just going, look, it's ready. It's almost ready. And then the march to 1.0. But expect to see some general updates to 4.1 and like 4.2 maybe, or what's going to be happening next year. As I said as well, I am collecting questions for CitizenCon, so hopefully I'll be able to ask some devs while I'm there. Hopefully I'll be able to go on an office tour if they've got them available as well. So tell me what you'd like to see, tell me what you'd like me to ask if I can. I'll sort of merge the questions together and ask them, sort of edit them a little bit to get them as concise as possible. And what do you think will be shown at CitizenCon? Do you think I've hit the nail on the head with some of those, or I'm crazy, or you've got like, no, I think they're going to be showing this? I would love to hear from you in the comments below, whatever you think. Also, Tobii eye trackers, they are currently on sale. If you want some really high precision eye and head tracking for Star Citizen that is natively supported, and works with a load of other games and has cool other features like Ghost, and you can see where your eyes are looking and all that sort of jazz, then check it out. Links below. Discount at the moment. Boom! What's in the box? That is what Pandora asked. She was told not to open that box, but she did. The internet is like Pandora's box, full of the chaos of the world. And Pandora basically opened an email attachment asking to help a millionaire prince move money around. Bam! It was Medusa all along. You've turned to stone. Foolish! You should know your Greek mythology. What's not foolish is nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. NordVPN is potentially one of the greatest Greek mythological heroes. It helps protect you from the terrors of the internet, helping you be more secure and private, while also giving you great accessibility. You can use my links down below to get NordVPN cheap. September, we've got a giveaway. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and this month is no different. We're giving away 5 ships this month. Actually, that is a bit different. That's 4 more than normal. We're going to give each of them to a different winner. We've got a Nomad, an X1, a Sulen, a Mustang Alpha, and a 100i. They all come with access to the game and lifetime insurance. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning any of those is comment on any of my videos made during the month on YouTube. I want to say a massive thank you to all our patrons and channel members. Your support allows us to make daily content. You are the best, and you should consider joining them by clicking the join button under my videos. It goes a long way in helping us, as does commenting, sharing videos, liking, all of that jazz. You do not have to chuck money at us, but if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. Thanks for watching, and have a great September.